In 2050, the Earth is dry and desolate, full of yellow sand. Human life has encountered unprecedented challenges. Even taking a breath of fresh oxygen has become a luxury for them. Those who survived, they hid underground to linger on their last days. For the reproduction of human beings, they are going to do an experiment. Her name is Nuna, she is a pilot, and she is talking to Professor Sima. They started planning.
Yes, I am.
3, 2, 1.
1,000 meters.
1,000 meters.
Approaching 10,000 meters.
Approaching 10,000 meters.
When the spaceship comes to the sky and overlooks the Earth, Nuna finds Earth in dilapidated condition. After flying for a while, Nuna saw a wormhole. This time their plan is to go through the wormhole, go back to the past, and change history. Thankfully they succeeded, but the spacecraft had problems landing. Mruin saw it and ran after it. He watched from a distance. The navigation aircraft on the spaceship came to him and asked him what year it was. Mruin tells him that the year is 2025. The navigation aircraft brought Mruin to Nuna's side. At this time Nuna fell to the ground. Nuna's body also returned to 25 years ago. Mruin put Nuna on the quad bike. Just as they were leaving, the police came here. He takes Nuna to an abandoned factory. Looking at the injured Nuna, Mruin hurried home to get some medical supplies. On the other side, the police have taken control of the spaceship and started the investigation, and their leader is the female police officer Anna. At this time, Anna found Mruin's home, according to Mruin's father. Mruin often went to the factory to play, so Anna also came to the factory. However, the roar of the car alarmed the two of them. When Anna walked into the factory, they sneaked into Anna's car. Start the car and leave. But what you don't know is that this girl is 37 years old, because she is from the future world. Her IQ and body are only 12 years old. This time, Nuna took a difficult task. Nuna's destination is to go to a luxurious estate. But on the way, their car broke down. A kind uncle came and took them to the house. But before their car was repaired, the police came here. They hid in the cornfields and then made a frantic escape. On Anna's side, they judged from the fingerprints on the spaceship that it was the spaceship driven by Nuna, and they also found Nuna's home. At this time, she was still an ignorant girl. Anna asked where she was last night, and her mother said that she was at home doing homework all night yesterday. Anna brought their family to the base for investigation. In the same time and space, there are actually two identical Nunas. At this point, Nuna and Mruin were walking towards their destination, but it wasn't long before they encountered the police. He was about to control Mruin, but after being shot by Nuna, he stayed in place. It turned out that in the future world, after they invented this kind of freeze-frame gun and hit a person, although there was no life-threatening danger, it would take several hours before they could resume their activities. Until Anna came here, he still had this expression.
Alright, well, this is new.
After several hours, the two finally arrived at their destination. They entered the house through the sewer. At this time, a group of people were having a meeting, and Nuna walked in directly. Nuna asks if he is Simon. The man asks Nuna what's up. Nuna tells Simon that you cannot go to the North Pole to drill wells, or you will bring disaster to the Earth. When Simon's father heard about it, he immediately interrupted his conversation and kicked Nuna out on the spot. The two had no choice but to hide in a corner of the manor and wait for the opportunity. When Simon was about to leave, Nuna mounted the tracker under his car to track where his home was. The two went to his house on foot. Seeing the sea on the way, Nuna couldn't help but marvel. In the world of Nuna is a desolate place. Mruin took the opportunity to get close to Nuna. Nuna thought it was funny, but finally told him all about the destruction of the world. It turns out that the Earth is polluted because of Simon and the others drilling wells in the North Pole. A gigantic flood swept across the planet, claiming most of the human lives. Then the Earth became very hot again, evaporating all the water, and turning the Earth into a barren mountain. The two finally came to Sima's home, and Nuna showed him a video in which the old man was Sima's future self. He warned Sima not to do this world-destroying thing in order to gain his father's approval. Sima thought it was nonsense. The police came here just in time through the video of the manor. They stun Nuna and hit the tracker, and Mruin escapes in the chaos. Nuna explained everything to Anna. Anna came to Pierre to find the answer. Pierre told Anna that the tracker was from 2048, and they began to believe what Nuna said. At this moment, the navigation aircraft suddenly sucked the gun and fled. He finds Mruin, and Mruin finds their base with a gun. Mruin was caught. Facing generals and soldiers, this advanced weapon makes them helpless. Mruin rescues Nuna and puts him aboard the spaceship. Due to the space-time tunnel, Nuna must go back immediately. When parting, both of them were reluctant to part. As the ship lifted off, Mruin could only watch her go. Nuna returned to her own world. Nuna tells Sima that the mission has failed. But Sima said we can try again, because we can really change the future. While Nuna was still hesitating, two people rushed out from behind the door. One was the grown-up Mruin, and the other was their child. However, although this crossing did not change the ending of the world's destruction, it changed the trajectory of her life. The havoc can be stopped by stopping young Sima from launching explorations in the North Pole. Nuna set off again, and flew back to base here. And Mruin and Anna haven't left yet. Nuna took Mruin aboard the spaceship, and together they flew to the North Pole. At this time, Sima was holding a groundbreaking ceremony, and the two rushed to the scene after finishing off the guards. As soon as Sima's father saw them, he was about to activate the button. Nuna didn't give him a chance, and Nuna shut down their machines permanently. Their efforts have had wonderful results. After Nuna sent Mruin back home, Nuna flew back again. Mruin was called to the base by Anna, and returned his quad bike. Just then, he saw another Nuna. So his life has meaning.